Welcome to Think Fast, where we're dedicated to exploring the complexities of the human heart. Today, we delve into a story of passion, disrespect, and the difficult journey to find true intimacy. Can a relationship built on a one-sided connection ever survive? Let's find out. In the vast frost-rimmed expanse of Yakutsk lived Nikolai and Sakaya. Nikolai was a man of the earth, sturdy, broad-shouldered, a master of the hunt and a skilled mechanic. He was grounded, his hands capable of both fixing a sputtering engine and gently calming a restless heart. Sakaya, on the other hand, was a woman of sharp, icy beauty. She was an urban professional with a restless ambition that made the quiet tundra feel like a cage. To the outside world, they were an odd match, a mismatch of city ambition and rural tradition. But in the quiet moments, away from judging eyes, they shared a private, powerful bond. Nikolai had a rare gift. He could see the real Sakaya, the one hidden beneath her layers of ambition and city polish. He had this intuitive understanding of her heart, a way of making her feel seen and cherished that no one else could. In the long, dark Siberian nights, he was the only one who could calm the restlessness in her soul, giving her a profound sense of peace that was absolutely intoxicating. This feeling became her anchor in a world where she constantly felt adrift. But here's the problem. Sakaya was addicted to this feeling, not the man who provided it. The moment the sun rose, it was like her allergy to Nikolai returned with a vengeance. She craved the comfort he provided in the dark, but resented the man who stood beside her in the light. In the city, this allergy was on full display. She'd make him walk 10 paces behind her, a shadow she didn't want associated with her polished image. But when she introduced him to her friends, if she introduced him at all, it was as her driver or a distant cousin, anything to create distance. She would belittle his lack of formal education, sneering, "Your hands are good for fixing things, Nikolai, but don't think that makes you my equal." Her words were like tiny, sharp icicles chipping away at his dignity. She treated their home like a hotel where the service was expected, but the provider was meant to be invisible. He was a convenience, a tool to be used when needed and stored away when not. The disparity was staggering. He gave her his whole heart, and she treated him like a background character in her own life. One evening, this dynamic reached a breaking point. Nikolai returned from the forest, his face stung red by the biting -50°C wind. He had spent the entire day carving a beautiful, intricate comb from mammoth ivory. In their culture, this was a powerful symbol, a token of eternal protection. It was a piece of his soul, crafted with care and love. He presented it to her with a shy, hopeful smile. Sakaya barely looked up from her laptop. "It's nice, Nikolai," she said, her voice dismissive. "Now, go wash up. You smell like the outdoors. I need you to be present tonight." The double meaning was clear. She didn't want him, the hunter, the craftsman. She wanted the service he provided in the darkness. The ivory comb slipped from his hand, clattering on the floor. In that moment, he realized he wasn't her husband. He was a fire she used for warmth but never bothered to tend. That night, as the wind howled outside, Sakaya sought him out, expecting the usual comfort, the usual escape. Instead, she met a wall of ice. He was physically there, but his warmth, his presence, was gone. "What are you doing?" she snapped, her voice laced with confusion and entitlement. Nikolai turned his head slowly, his eyes reflecting a deep, settled coldness she'd never seen before. "I am not a well you draw from, only when you are thirsty, Sakaya," he said, his voice quiet but firm. "You treat me like a shadow in the daylight, then expect me to be your sun in the dark. You are addicted to the validation I give you, but you are allergic to the man I am." She laughed nervously, trying to dismiss his words. "You need me," she said, a desperate attempt to regain control. "Maybe," Nikolai replied, pulling the heavy furs over himself, creating a physical and emotional barrier between them. "But I would rather be alone than be invisible to a woman who only sees me when the lights are off." Nikolai moved to the guest room. He withdrew his affection completely. No more gentle touches, no more late-night talks, no more of the profound connection that had been her secret anchor. Sakaya's world, which she thought was so firmly under her control, began to crumble. Without the emotional anchor Nikolai provided, her stress skyrocketed. The pressure she put on herself at work became unbearable. Her performance suffered, her ambition felt hollow. She found herself staring at the mammoth ivory comb, now a symbol of the soul she had rejected, the unconditional love she had taken for granted. For the first time, she was forced to confront the reality of her actions. She realized the deep connection he offered came from a place of genuine selflessness. She had never bothered to return. She had been taking and taking without ever truly giving. The situation became so strained that a village elder had to intervene. The elder, wise to the ways of the heart, proposed a radical solution. Nikolai and Sakaya would continue to live together for 2 months, but with a strict ban on all intimacy. This wasn't a punishment. It was a re-education. Sakaya had to learn to interact with Nikolai as a person, not a utility. She had to learn to talk to him, to actually listen to his thoughts, his dreams, his fears. She had to see the man, not just the provider of a feeling. It was a slow, painful process. She stumbled. She resisted. But gradually she began to see the depth and strength in the man she had so casually dismissed. The turning point came at a gala in the city. Surrounded by her sophisticated colleagues, she took a deep breath, took his hand, and introduced him properly, her voice clear and proud. "This is Nikolai, my husband, the man who keeps my world standing." Their story became a lesson for their community. It taught everyone that passion is a gift, but respect is the hearth that keeps a home from growing cold. Passion can burn out, but a fire tended with respect and care can last a lifetime. When Nikolai and Sakaya finally reconnected intimately, the dynamic had completely changed. The bond was no longer a one-sided trap, a desperate addiction for her, and a source of pain for him. It was a celebration of two whole people choosing to be together. Sakaya finally understood a crucial truth. When you are only in love with a feeling, the connection is fleeting. But when you love the person who provides it, the connection isn't just a feeling, it's in the soul. If this story resonated with you, share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear what you think. Subscribe for more stories that make you think and feel. And if you're struggling in your own relationship, remember, it's never too late to seek respect, not just a feeling. Seeking help from a counselor or therapist can provide guidance and support. Until next time, stay thoughtful.